afternoon, everybody, and welcome to your November 2015 episode of Out of the Vault. If you need to catch up, please take a look at the playlist that's provided for you in the box below. Today we're going to talk about one of my personal favorites from my youth, the 13th animated classic from 1951, the second of the golden age of Disney with the Disney princesses, although this one did not actually feature a Disney princess, but it definitely featured a very strong female character, and that of course is the Lewis Carroll story come to life in Disney animation, Alice in Wonderland. This movie is one of the Disney classics that I saw when I was very young. I think it was one of the first three. As 101 Dalmatians was the first one that I did see in theaters, there were a couple of Disney classics that I had seen beforehand, and they included Robin Hood, Pinocchio, and of course Alice in Wonderland. Now this film is very loosely based on the original story, which no doubt in my mind is a little bit of a joyous and adventurous acid trip, but it was definitely done in a good manner of style and taste that only Disney could possibly give us. The voice of Alice is Catherine Beaumont, who happened to voice another famous Disney lady 2 years later in the 1953 rendition of Peter Pan. And just in case you didn't know, in that playlist you will see my review for that Disney classic as well. So I remember just having so much fun with this movie. I loved the characters. It is just a crazy, outrageous adventure. But after seeing it in my adult years, and also being a fan of the Tim Burton film, and also looking forward to the sequel Through the Looking Glass, this movie is definitely so much more than what I thought it was. Granted, I still had fun with it. Characters like the Mad Hatter, the March Hare, the Queen of Hearts, Tweedledee, and Tweedledum are some of my all-time favorites, and let's not forget that incredibly weird and intellectual Cheshire Cat. But what is so interesting to me is exactly how important this is as a life lesson for this young girl, Alice. Alice is a wishy-washy girl that kind of just wants to have her own world where there's no rules and boundaries, and yet when she finally gets that world in her wish, it turns out to be a very challenging wish, because now she has to take on responsibilities and figure out how to manage herself in this world with no rules, meaning she has to grow up, get her bearings together, and actually make rules for the purpose of surviving and finding her way home. Even though she does have a lot of vulnerability, she's a very strong character that can think very well on her feet, and I think that's why she appeals to so many people out there who are fans of Disney characters, especially female role models. While she is very young, she's still very independent, and still, when she finds possibilities of not being able to solve the problem, while she may panic a little bit, or in her case break into tears every now and again, she still will manage to find her way. The animation is definitely something different. It's also, from a dialogue standpoint, very advanced for most young children. The conversations that she has with characters like Tweedledee and Tweedledum, the Cheshire Cat, and the Caterpillar are definitely things that may go over children's heads, but as an adult, when you watch these, they are kind of thought-provoking, and I think that's what appeals to me in regards to this movie. So, seeing it again after not seeing it for so many years was such a joyous thing to see. Although I do find it interesting that when I was little, I never would have thought that this movie or these characters could be anywhere related to things like drugs, but when I showed this movie a long time ago to my sister when she was 6 years old, she's actually in her 20s now, the first thing that came to her mind when she saw the Tea Party, the first thing that she said was, "Are they on drugs?" It just shows you how society has changed, but still, this is definitely one of the best Disney classics. I would totally watch this movie again, and when I do finally build my classics library, this is going to be in there, no doubt in my mind. I am giving Alice in Wonderland 4 out of 4, and I appreciate the fact that you all watched today. Please put your comments in the box below, and let's have a discussion on this version of Alice in Wonderland, or if you want to talk about the Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland, please feel free. I'd love to talk to you about either one of them. So I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching as always, and actions speak louder than words.